Hi. I found a couple of things in the workshop today. This first one is this container, which had a bunch of junk in it that I needed to get rid of. Just old things from cars that I no longer have, little bits and fixings and stuff that I couldn't repurpose into anything. So I got rid of that. But then I had this container that it's kind of a bit old and skanky, which is not bad. You just clean it up and you can use it again. But I found a really good use for it because I also found this old DoSE.workshop shifting spanner or adjustable wrench that was completely rusty. I've had it for ages. I picked it up at a swap meet many years ago, and it's just kind of sat in amongst all my old kind of spare random tools. And I was like, oh, that's a cool old brand. It's like a German made spanner. DoSE originally like back in the 60s, 70s. Made the in-car kits for Mercedes-Benz. So you would get spanners and things inside cars, and DoSE would make them for Mercedes. I just ended up with a shifter, but it was completely rusty. So I was like, oh, I need a container to put some vinegar in and kind of start to get the rust off it. And I was like, oh, I've got this little section container, which is like I can put the main part in there, and I can put the little parts up here. So this is currently wafting of vinegar in my face, so I'm going to put it down and we'll get to what we're doing today. We'll check on that thing in like 12 hours. But what we are doing today is this is in the wrong spot. This is, I'm not sure if you can see it. This thing, love it. I've been using it so much on different things. I'm hugging a drill press, but stranger things have happened. It's great. Really, lost for words. I really dig it. Use it a lot, but it's just in the wrong spot. I originally, in my head, envisioned it that it would be facing inwards into the workshop rather than around a little corner where I had to kind of stand next to the window and kind of be a bit crowded here on this side. So originally I wanted to have this over the other side, on the same side as the bandsaw, which is that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a little rolly table for it. Now this table's probably, I would say, that much too tall, I think, because there's a little gauge here which you can like measure how far you're going down, and if I was like that much taller, it will be in exactly the right spot. But so I'm going to make a bench. It's going to be that much shorter than this one. It's going to be wide enough to put the drill press on and maybe have a little bit of a work area next to it. And it's going to be on wheels. So if I need to pull it out and get some more room around it, because there's also some boxes and stuff over here that I'm going to need to get to as well, we're going to be able to do that. Now, what we're going to make it out of is just some scrap wood. And when I say scrap wood, when I go to the hardware store to pick up some things, I'll kind of pick up a couple of these pieces of wood, they're like 900 by, I think 35 by 70 millimeters. Pine, they're cheap. They're like $3 each or something. But I've been collecting them as we go. I'm trying to find nice straight ones with not too many knots in them. This one has one knot, 2 knots here. Very small ones. Some of them have no knots in it. Some of them, because they are scrap wood, some have massive knots in it, which are kind of not nice and not nice to work with. But I managed to find a whole bunch of, over the course of a bunch of trips to the hardware store, a whole bunch of these. So I'm going to make a bunch of legs by sticking 2 of these together to making a nice square leg. I'll make 4 of these and some cross braces, stick some wheels on the bottom, and I'll grab some 18mm ply, stick it on top, a little cross beam in the middle, and that should hopefully be strong enough to hold my drill press. And if this all goes well, I think I also need to make one for our impending 3D printer. Because I think right now, or when the 3D printer arrives, we'll put it around the edge in the other area. But I kind of want it over this side. I've got it in my brain, but also I also think that Workshop should change and evolve as you figure out how to use it. So let's get to figuring out how to make this. I just need to cut some stuff on the bandsaw. I'll make sure that all these little edges are flat, and we'll get making a little bit of a workbench and see if it's what we want. Let's go. Alright, so what I'm going to try and do, just so I get these things nice and tight, so I've used the beams I'm going to use for the fronts and the bottom braces in there, so they will fit exactly. I've cut specific feet for each side of these little bottom bits to hold them up. What I'm going to do is kind of clamp it together and then screw it, so then we get a nice tight fit everywhere. I think that's the best way to get it all tight and square and nice and neat. Wish me luck. Screws. Okay, that was a short and sharp workshop session. We have the front and back frames done. All we need to do now is to add the sides, which I have ready to cut, which we'll do next time, because also I need to get some more screws because I ran out. So, consumables, right? Catch you next one. Catch you on the next one for the top and the sides, and moving this thing over to there, which I'm really not looking forward to. It's really heavy. But anyway, see you in a sec. Okay, we're back. Our frames are dry. They are square. They are the front and the backs. Today we are going to cut the sides and square everything up that way, and also do the top. Get it all ready to put together, or just to do the final screws, and then we're going to give it a coat of, I'm unsure whether to do linseed oil or tung oil. I'm kind of leaning towards linseed oil just because or boiled linseed oil because it dries faster. It's just a little bit more clean up, just to make sure that, you know, everything's safe and rags don't spontaneously combust. But, you know, we'd probably prefer that to not happen, because linseed oil relies on a chemical reaction to speed up the drying process. All these boiled linseed oil does, and if you scrunch rags up, that chemical process can still happen, and it can overheat, and your rags can explode. Not explode, spontaneously combust, which is kind of the same thing. But let's just get going. We need to cut some stuff on the bandsaw. We'll need to do some drilling, some screwing, and then fit the top. I think we'll fit the wheels last. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go, so let's go. Actually, while I'm cutting, I'm making, obviously, offcuts, which is great because then you can make things with offcuts. And for example, I've been constantly walking from this side of the workshop to the other side of the workshop going, oh, I need my pen, oh, I need my drill, oh, I need my scribe, I need my, there are certain things I've found I use all of the time. So I made myself this cool little DoSE workshop caddy for all my tools that I use all the time. So I got my countersink drill bits, I've got my regular drill bits for the screws, 1, 2, and 3. I got a pencil, I've got a scribe, I got a center punch, I got a hobby knife, I've got a long number 2 drill bit, which I've been using quite a bit, and I've got a step drill just for, you know, making some random holes. But this has been really handy. I've really enjoyed it. It's kind of like one of my favorite things at the moment. Yay, go make yourself a tool caddy. It's kind of cool. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna stick one beam in on both sides with one screw, you know, top and bottom, and then get it kind of nice and square. Then drill the second screw in each of the ones so it holds. Then we'll do the same to the other side, and then it'll be pretty much square. And hopefully the top will fit on nice and square. But the top will also pull it into square. Like, there's a whole lot of if maybes, and it'll be fine. It's gonna be a tight one. Yeah. Right, everything is together. It is really square, it is really solid. I'm really happy. Everything all the forward planning I put in to make sure everything was square in the way I drilled it all together, I'm glad that plan worked. I was thinking as I was drilling it in, like, there are certain pieces of wood, just because these are scrap lumber, this isn't like, you know, dress pine, or it's not even construction pine, or maybe it is, I don't know. But it is very much like offcuts or the cheapest stuff you can buy. Some are slightly different widths, like, so this thickness here is different than this thickness here by like 3 mil or something. So I've had to make sure that all the facing bits, the bits that are going to join onto the top of the table, are nice and square. Everything is really square. I don't know how excited I am to tell you. It's a very small thing, but a small thing I'm kind of proud of. So okay, next is we're going to give this a quick sand. We'll probably do it tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll give this a quick sand, then we'll cover this and the top with linseed oil and let that dry for, you know, a couple of days, and then stick it all together. Okay, we're back in the workshop. Our task for today is to sand this and maybe get a coat of linseed oil on it. So I made the whole bench, as you know, to fit this bit of ply I had, so I didn't have to go anywhere. There's this little sticker marker. Who put stickers on piece of wood? God damn. Super happy with the base. Happy with every fit. So yeah, we're gonna probably drill the top, sand it, and then give it a coat of linseed oil. Let's go. Okay, we're going to start staining this or finishing this. I'm using boiled linseed oil. I was going to use tung oil, but I just thought this is going to cure faster, so that'll be helpful. And it's just the workbench. It's nothing that it's, you know, a presentation piece. But on that, I'm not going to finish the top in the same way. While I was sanding, I had an idea about how to kind of make this workbench go from just a workbench to something that's a little more DoSE worthy, should I say. Let me cook on it, and we'll do this bit, and then we'll come back to that bit. we're done. Linseed oil on. Turns out I don't think I've used this before. I thought I had. I thought, oh yeah, boiled linseed oil. I've used that before to coat stuff. I don't think I have. I think I've used lacquer before. I think it was completely different to what I thought it was going to be. It is just an oil that goes on to wood and it soaks in and then it has to cure. So, so what I need to do now is clean up. This is it's like a oil with an additive. So there is a chemical reaction that happens. If you leave your rags just scrunched up and chucked into a bag, the heat is generated and these can apparently burst into flames, which we don't really want. So what I'm going to do is wash this out, rinse it, hang it up to dry, and then we'll see if our plan for the top will come together. Okay, we're back in the workshop. The linseed oil's kind of like, it's not really a wet covering, it's not really a wet finishing material. So I'm thinking we might stick the wheels on today. I'm just going to flip this upside down. I'll get some scraps so it's not sitting on the concrete floor, and we'll do the wheels. We might as well keep on moving if we can. I'm starting the top. The top's going to be a bit of a reveal at the end. I want it to be a little bit of a surprise because I think it's cool. I think it's going to be interesting, and I think it's going to make it a little bit uniquely this channel. Let's go. It worked. It's so good. It's really stable. I was really worried that the wheels were going to screw up the squareness or the flatness of it, but it's really stable. So it's got two straight wheels at this side, two turny wheels at this end, so I can move it into position. Get it in there, slot it over there. Great. I'm super happy. Super happy. Now we just have to wait for the paint to dry on the top, because there's a bit of work to do on there, and then we just put it all together and move the drill across. For a simple workbench build, and let's be honest, it's just a bunch of scrap lumber screwed together. There's still a lot of work in it. You still have to make sure everything's square, make sure that the wheels roll properly and that you put them on the right side. It's like it's not a complex build, but there's still a lot to it, and I guess that's something to think about as well. And it's also just like, how do we make it interesting? How do we make it just like not another workbench? And hopefully the plans I have for it will just give it a little bit of difference. All right, now we just wait for the paint. Okay, we're finished. Look at that. I added a DoSE thing to it. It's red. I used a white mopper to just, I wanted something that was kind of custom, but also kind of like drippy and handmade and painted, just so it wasn't just a regular ply top. I think it's cool. Look, we're going to cover some up. Because we have to stick a drill press and stuff on there. And it's going to get scuffed up and marked and cut, but I think that is the spirit I want from it. I feel like I'm looking over here where the camera's over here. Sorry about that. I'll get better at this. But I feel like that's the spirit we want, is just, let's make a cool thing. Even if it's going to get scuffed up, let's make it be cool. Now we're going to put the drill press over there, which is going to be a thing. I've got bolts. I've got these bolts. They're 12 mil or 12 gauge stainless steel, because you know how I love stainless steel. And put the drill press over there and drill some holes, bolt it down, and then we're done. Done. And then we've got a cool workshop. Look at that. Look at this. Yeah, let me spin the camera around. How do I do that? I don't know how to do that. Anyway, there it is. It's going to sit over there. It's going to sit over there. We're all done. Let's go. Okay, that is pretty damn perfect. Look at this. The bench hardly wobbles. You can probably hardly hear me. The bench hardly wobbles. Everything's like, I feel like I've got really good access to both sides. If I need more access to this side, I can definitely slide it out. It's bolted really firmly to this table. The table wobbles if you grab it and you move it around, but other than that, I think it's the perfect height. See this little gauge here? It means that my eye level is right on that, so I can see it perfectly. I'm super happy. Okay, we made a table. We extended the capabilities. I've got some space back over here, so I can start putting a shelf up. I've already made a shelf here that's going to go up there to store some things up there. I'm down. It's really good. That's another episode of DoSE Workshop. We were just building a drill table, which it doesn't sound like it's super exciting or complex, but there was a lot of a lot of fun to be had. We made it a little bit fancy, and oh man, we're so close to getting the space. The more and more I work on the space, the more and more the space gets inspiring to be in. So, yay. I'll catch you on the next one. See you soon. Bye.